So up guys, back in today with another reaction to Akane-Banashi, this time of episode 9. Looking forward to hearing Amelia's voice actress's job she's got today and what story she's going to be covering. Obviously she's a very talented voice actress, and she can talk incredibly fast. Hey, this is ReZero season 4. This is just ReZero season 4 right here. Well, but yeah, last episode was great with a more modern interpretation of the fart flatulence story that we heard earlier on in the series. This is just ReZero right here. What the hell, man? Big old sandworms, the ice swords. Well, no, not ice swords. They're the shiny swords, but whatever. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what story she's going to tell. I assume this whole episode is going to be based on her. Straight in the car, straight to practice. What you got for us, lady? So what type of story do you reckon she's gonna... I mentioned about like the voice actress. I love her, honestly, one of my favorite. I think she's really cute as well. She's really pretty. But do you reckon, because she can speak incredibly fast, that she'll do a kind of like Jugem-esque kind of story? Or I feel like it's going to be quite unexpected. I hope she does... We haven't really heard this yet. I hope she does a more serious story. We haven't really heard a serious kind of style of story yet. We heard a bit of an informative one with the white haired dude with the glasses. That was a bit more like teaching kind of stuff. But I want a dark kind of Rakugo story, honestly. I know there is some. I mean, you could say a few of the ones we've already heard are quite dark. There was that one with the ending that got changed because it ended so horribly. Jugamu ended up dying because he couldn't say his name. But something actually like serious, if you know what I'm saying. And I don't know why, but I'm expecting that from her today. She doesn't really strike me as too much of a comedic type. This girl. But who knows? Imagine anyone can do any kind of style and whatever they want. Say you? Or she's just that multi-talented. It's a very similar thing. Unlucky girlfriend. So yeah, weird atmosphere. There's mega fans and then people that are maybe a bit pissed off that she's that popular. I don't know. Pissed off that she's even here in the first place. I hate this fucking subtitles when they overlap on top of the story, so I actually understand what she's saying. Ibahana. Oh shit! So is this the same story that Akane's dad told? Holy, wow, that is I said this last week about how unfair Isho's reviews were last week in regards to keeping it consistent. I mean, he absolutely terminated the careers of a few very promising Rakugo artists in that first episode, and it is really disrespectful for me that he then judges the Rakugo as we saw last week that he didn't like, that he didn't laugh at, that he didn't enjoy. He could see the use in it, but he then judges that differently and much less negatively, and he didn't destroy his career. He very well could have. And it's disrespectful for me, to be honest, that you change up your judging style like that. I don't like that whatsoever. And I assume we're going to see the same here. The same story her father got destroyed from. This guy, I mean, we haven't heard the full story yet. He's got to go a lot easier on her, no matter if it's good or bad. So, and doesn't that just piss you off a bit? Doesn't that just absolutely just piss you off a bit? But yeah, as I said earlier, it's really annoying, the subtitles in the show that they keep having, like, they keep putting the commentary over top of the Rakugo, so you can't actually hear the Rakugo story. It's really annoying. They could just simply just put 2 sets of subtitles, but whatever. I don't remember this one all that well, to be honest with you. No, it wasn't the story, it's the delivery and such. But again, you know that she's probably not going to be quite as good as he was, and yet his whole career got destroyed based off this. Oh, see there. He's actually fucking crying. What the hell? So I remember being much more impacted by Akane's father's version of this. Hmm. Yeah, it's a different kind of perspective of this a little bit, isn't it? Not quite as impactful to me, but yeah, definitely a dramatic version, isn't it? Yeah, very much so. I think you might be doing a bit too much, honestly. But I mean, I got what I wished for in the opening. I said I want a bit more of a serious one. You kind of changed the story up a little bit from the perspective side of things and made it a bit more emotional. I mean, they're right. It definitely plays a part. It's not all there is to it, of course, but that does play a big part. But you can tell she's the type of girl that would much rather prove herself with her skill. So you probably took that a bit personally. You think I can't be a good actress? You can't be good at voice acting? Madoka-san, eh? This is not the guy. This is not the guy to be messing about with. It wasn't, but seems nowadays it is. Seems nowadays it is the guy you want to be messing about with. I'm a Tokyo girl. What do you mean by that? I'm a city girl now. Ain't none of that country bumpkin business. I'm a Tokyo girl. Motivation. So you think? Okay. Crowd really liked it. I haven't really saw enough of it to really judge, but from what we did here, I did prefer Akane's father's version. I was expecting it to be a bit longer. The dude last week got a lot more time. Mm. Kind of felt quite quick. I'd like to actually hear a bit more of the Rakugo. But yeah, she didn't get nearly as much time as the good guy last week. Bit of a shame. It was disgraceful. It's an insult to Rakugo. quite stunned, huh? Has it? It was a bit dramatic. I felt the same. Okay. So yeah, again, if she performed that same thing when Akane's father did, do you reckon that's what he would have said? I doubt it. I imagine he'd say something like that was way too over the top. Not my style. Get out. Good job, you. Ken wasn't my favourite, but I think last week's probably. I was gonna say maybe last week's might have been the best performance. I think Jugemi was good, but I do think last week's probably takes the cake right now. Still got another version of Jugemi to come though, haven't we? It hasn't. Even if what you're saying is right, it's still not ended. He wanted to come here. Probably after that performance, I imagine. Oh, is he going to tell her to change story? I mean, we literally just saw that with the voice actress girl, didn't we? She said she should have took a few more pauses. I think you're in an anxious situation like that. It's hard to keep your cool and breathe, as she said, isn't it? She's got an evil aura. The aura of ill intent. Fair enough. You were worried for no reason. You already kind of done that by coming here. That's nice of you. Okay, so Jugemu version 2. How will this differ? Again, I was not expecting to see this today. I was really assuming this would be next week. I feel bad for the voice actor girl now because her performance is going to get overshadowed right here. Whereas, like I said, the guy last week had a whole episode for his. I also think it's quite interesting how we've already seen various interpretations of similar and the same stories already. Pretty cool, actually. So, yep, here we go again. She's smiling for. She's got something up her sleeve, hasn't she? Good background noise, eh? Interesting. Interesting. So you're going to a relaxing. Ah. Okay, okay. So she's changed. That's why she's changed up the tone. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, very different from the initial Jugami, wasn't it? Maybe had them like hanging on the end of the sentences just to get a laugh and such. Interesting. She attuned herself to the mood, didn't she? Which is one of the biggest thing, right? Yes, that one of the big lessons we have to learn. Attentiveness. So again, I find the pacing very weird, honestly. Very weird. It again just kind of feels like the blue haired girl got a little bit not overshadowed, that's the wrong word, but kind of pushed to the side a little bit. Like we didn't have that much of a focus on her or her Rakugo story, unfortunately. I mentioned this a minute ago. It is the case where we did already hear this story in the first episode, as we did last week, and we've heard a few stories already a few times, which is intriguing because I imagine there's hundreds of thousands of stories out there, and you can literally create one if you want as well. So, but I've quite liked that so far because it's been like a different interpretation. But I don't think we had either enough focus on her as a person, nor her Rakugo story, the bigger one being her Rakugo story. We got like enough of her as a character, I guess, and like what she has to deal with and her motivation and such. But the actual story itself, for it being like a serious one, we didn't get nearly enough of it to make us kind of feel emotional or sad or anything. We saw the audience's reaction, but it just, I'd hesitate to say I wouldn't hesitate to say that nobody cried listening to that as an anime viewer. I could always guarantee nobody cried listening to that. Whereas if they actually done a full focus on just the Rakugo, then that might have actually happened. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of how they've been presented the Rakugo so far, and I've said that pretty much every episode. It's always like intercut with someone like narrating over it or explaining something. Like, just let us listen to the story. Let the story do the talking. The show really needs to kind of let it breathe in that way, doesn't it? I think. I assumed it would get better at that. I've mentioned that all throughout the series, and I assumed it would get better at that throughout, but it just hasn't so far. But yeah, it was a decent episode. As I said, definitely not the best. I like, again, I like the ending here with the kind of change of tone of the Jugemu. But yeah, I mean, it's just like it's been disappointing in regards to the Rakugo of the show so far for me. We haven't ever actually had like a good listen to the Rakugo story. We get the gist of it, we get an explanation of it, but we never actually get to hear much of it. And that's my biggest complaint of the show so far. I'm still enjoying it. I like the characters and such, and when we do hear the Rakugo, it is good. But again, this being an emotional story, make it emotional. Make us listen to it instead of just showing her crying and the audience crying. Let us listen to it and make us emotional by listening to the story. It doesn't really work if you tell us to feel this way because the audience are feeling this way. No, make the audience feel this way. It really hasn't done a great job with that so far. I don't think done a decent job with some backstory of her, but even then it wasn't anything kind of crazy. And I felt like she should have got a full episode like the guy did last week. I think they've done a really good job last week at showing us a bit of his backstory as well as his kind of style and take on things and his thought process. I think they've done a really good job of that. So this honestly just feels a little bit lazier in comparison to me, anyway. And especially kind of chopping up with half of Akane's performance. Like we're going to get the next half next week. I also find that quite strange. Kind of wish they all just got like an episode each, and that would have been a little bit better paced. But maybe I'm just complaining too much. Who knows? It was a decent episode, but a little bit disappointing, to be honest with you. As the Rakugo has been in general so far. So if this does get a season 2 or something, I hope that's something they can just focus a bit more on the actual, because it's you've got a story about storytelling and you don't let the characters do the storytelling, and it just doesn't function that well for me. Again, maybe I'm on an island with that, but I mean it's clearly a very popular manga and anime, but yeah, who knows? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought of the performances today as well. Leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And I'll catch you guys next week with episode 10.